Hey gang, Todd here. Just got back from the theater with Erika. Went and saw Dune Part 2. And it was great. If you're a fan of the books, this has been the best adaptation yet. I still kind of like the David Lynch version, but that's mostly because it's David Lynch, not so much for the film's actual adherence to the novel. And the miniseries was okay. They added stuff to stretch it out to 3 episodes, but took away other stuff that I don't think they really even had to. But Dennis Villeneuve, I know that's a bit garbled, but I'm not really good with names unless they're simple, like Baker. That I can pronounce. A lot of other stuff, you gotta bear with me. I'm old. Anyways, taking up where the last film left off, Paul and his mother are joining the Fremen, and Paul is learning the ways of the Fremen. Now they need a Mother Superior, Reverend Mother. Their Reverend Mother is dying, and as Paul's mother, Jessica, is a Bene Jesuit, she could become their Reverend Mother. And as the leader puts it, if you don't do this, you serve no purpose here. You and your son would then have to take your chances in the desert. Sort of blackmail you. So she does it, but she drinks the water of life, which is fluid taken from a drowned sandworm, which we can see later in the film. And the old Reverend Mother, right before she dies, realizes Jessica's pregnant, and they've just given the water of life to someone who's pregnant. That could have unforetold ramifications. But Paul, who's learning the ways of the Fremen, doesn't really want to fulfill the prophecy that Stilgard and some of the others think he is the one they were told about. And when the Fremen he falls in love with, Chani, she doesn't believe that stuff. Meanwhile, the Harkonnens, who have now retaken the planet, are trying to eradicate the Fremen. But with Paul's help, because he's learned tactical things as a duke under the tutelage of Gurney Halleck and Duncan Idaho and others, is able to take the fight to the Harkonnens, which is now going to bring about the Emperor having to step in. And that's about as much plot as I'm going to give. Now, a lot of interesting things going on here. A lot of the Harkonnen imagery is very Third Reichish, with the parades and the uniforms. And as for the Fremen, we get a little bit of an exploration about religion, fanaticism, and I find it amazing that a material that was written in the 60s still so very relevant today. A lot of good things about this. The special effects, great. The acting, amazing. I like that Paul is reluctant to accept the mantle of the Mahdi. He's kind of content just fighting the Harkonnens and disrupting their spice supplies. But his mother tells him she's seen it. He has to take the water of life and become the Mahdi. And she's kind of underground working her way to get everyone behind this idea. And Timothée Chalamet, what an amazing actor. He's this thin guy, maybe average height, very unimposing, and yet after he becomes the Mahdi, he is the most intimidating person in the film. And that's saying something when you got Dave Bautista in it. Not to mention Josh Brolin and Javier Bardem. But, great acting on his part. Austin Butler gets introduced as the brother of Dave Bautista's the Beast. He is Fade, and his uncle, the Baron, is kind of working some machinations to put him on the throne. Marry the princess, take over the throne. The old man's weak. He can get the houses good. A lot of political machinations going on here. The planet of Harkonnen, wow. It has a black sun, and so it bleaches all color out of everything. And when Fade goes into the arena for his usual display of fighting ability, and sort of bread and circus for the or is it blood circus? Bread and circus for the masses, like Agent Rome's gladiators and stuff. He's putting on all this black makeup, and yet when he comes out, he is white, and his teeth are black from the sun. And I thought that was an interesting contrast. Zendaya, she's becoming a really good actress. She goes through a lot of emotions in this, and you understand what she's going through and what this part is upsetting her and what this part is concerning her. And very good film. Sits right up there with the first one. Unlike a lot of two-parters, this one works as a whole, whereas you get like It and It Part 2, where it's just a rehash of Part 1, only with adults instead of teenagers. And but this was a whole book, and it's a very complex and thought-provoking book. Now, they did change the ending from the book, so if you're a purist, you might not like it, but considering he truncated the timeline of the book from about a 4 to 5 year period down to about a 4 to 5 month period, it works. And I'm looking forward to if they ever make Dune Messiah, because this is kind of a trilogy, and this part is the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy. Really good film, highly recommended. Probably one of the best films of the year, and I'll probably still think that come the end of December, because it is just that good. Even if you're not a Dune fan or a sci-fi fan, just all the other stuff that you get involved with, the politics and the undertones of religion and fascism and all these other things, they keep you interested and invested. And me personally, the fight between Paul and Fade at the end, that's like the big moment in the book and in the other two movies. If you've seen them, then you know what's coming up. Is the best fight they've ever done for Dune. It is brutal, bloody, and both combatants are exhausted at the end. They're both breathing heavily. They can barely stand up, and they're going to keep going till one of them is dead. And it is a really good and exciting scene. So yeah, 2 big thumbs up, as Siskel and Ebert used to do. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.